And welcome to a bit of a different episode today. We're going to be looking around a backup of the somewhat recently reset All of Fabric 6 North American server. Massive thanks to Gibbs for getting this organised and inviting me along. You'll be able to check out his video for the tour, where he checked out the EU server, as well as his All of Fabric 6 series. Link in the description. Also a big thanks to Subordinal Blue for showing us around, and Trent for setting up this over 200 gigabyte backup on a server that we could all jump on, because we couldn't really get on there before they did the actual reset for a new version of the pack. And of course, all the people that took us the time to show us their builds, as well as the people that couldn't make it, but still let us check out, what they'd created. This is gonna be a long one. There was about 5 hours of raw footage from the tour, and I've kind of cut it down quite a bit, so apologies if I've cut out something that you want kept in, for the builders, that is. But I had to be pretty ruthless with the edits to try and keep it to a somewhat reasonable length. So first up, what we're looking at here is Spawn. This place was pretty big and had some really cool builds and a huge dragon. And this was built by Rohan, and this was the area where you would spawn. And pretty sure when I first joined the server, I actually ended up spawning up on top of it. But luckily, there was a command that would let you get down when that happened. You were actually supposed to spawn inside this cave. All of the stuff is just really, really impressive. So this thing here was really cool. Pretty sure this was another thing that was built by Rohan. And there were a lot of other cool looking detailed ships around Spawn, but this one here was definitely my favorite. Kind of looks like a ghost ship or something. I don't know if that was the intent, but that's kind of what I thought it looked like. Especially with the shaders on, which makes vanilla ores glow for some reason. It gives the sails a really ghostly appearance, which is really cool. This thing was just super detailed and looked really cool close up, but from a distance, yeah, I really, really like this thing. This was another thing that was just quite neat. This temple thing, we didn't actually look around it too much when we were doing the tour. Just something I noticed when going through the replay mod footage. I assume this was built by Rohan, but not actually entirely sure about that one. Yeah, this was really cool. I'm sure there are a lot of other builds we actually missed on this server, but we had 5 hours of footage to edit down, so yeah. There was also this big Brock lava golem dude thing that was built by Rohan. Apparently part of it, or it was built for block off or something, and actually ended up getting moved with the AE2 spatial storage, which I haven't actually touched too much, but I've kind of seen it in action. Yeah, I don't know. It's just decorative, but I want one. There was also this airship in front of it, and the really nice touch about this thing was the nether portal boosters. They were cool. But all right, let's jump over to the tour itself, where Kimball's, Subordinal Blue, and myself were kind of just hanging out at Spawn before we went to go check out the first base.
Oh my god. big blue thing just appears.
It's the blue screen. I'm tech support.
Hey Sub, if you want us to see your beautiful face and moustache, maybe turn your night vision goggles onto effects only.
Oh, my bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Good tip. Hang on, I think I have to go survival to get that to work.
Are you using night vision goggles classic?
Yeah, I did turn them off just because they look a bit.
Yeah.
They look pretty cool.
They used to look pretty good on me, but now I've got that third eye on my head. They kind of don't quite fit. But the world ended a week ago, right? What the hell was that?
Someone's got that's the whoopee cushion artifact.
All right.
Or maybe it was real life. Who knows?
It wasn't me. I mean, my microphone picks up dogfights in the street, but
yeah, suspicious.
My farts are much more silent than that. Oh my god.
All right, now I've got to get rid of mine. We can't all have whoopee cushions. It'll just be non-stop.
No, go ahead. You do it. It can be your joke. I'll TNT bases.
All right. So the first base we were going to go and check out was the Tower of Purple, actually known as IW Tower. This thing was built by Neurodelver, Builderbot 2000, Mean Machine 96, and Xtrix XO. or maybe Drix for short. Neuro gave us a really good rundown on this tower, so I'll leave most of the explanations to him, but this thing was really cool and really packed with stuff. I'm pretty sure they've squeezed all of modern industrialization into this thing, and kind of, we're pretty careful about keeping inside chunk borders to cut down the lag, at least when the tower wasn't loaded. And I'm convinced that this was an AE2 mushroom in the garden. Off to the side of this is this red fantasy house structure thing. Apparently one of the first things, or maybe even the first thing that was built in this area, and it was built by Drix. This thing was just really nice. I really liked it. And then over here we have this green Gaia temple stadium castle thing. I don't really know what you call it. This was built by Drix, and I think Neuro contributed a bit to it as well. This thing was quite cool as well, and you had like this little viewing area for spectating, I guess, Gaia fights or any fights, which was pretty cool. Over here we've got this duplication temple, which is kind of built around the modern industrialization replicator, which is really cool. It dupes items, so it's quite a powerful thing. Got this really cool create contraption spinning thing on the front, although I'm not quite sure how it's done, because you can't actually see the create bearing or anything. I don't know, maybe an entangled block or something? I've got no idea, but it looks pretty cool, and this was built by NeuroDelver and BuilderBot 2000. One of the other cool things, like really cool things that was on the server, was this train from Create. I think this was hooked up to a few different people's bases, which is really cool. We did get to go for a ride in it, and I want one in my world. Not entirely sure who built this one, but yeah, it was neat. But anyway, let's get back to the actual tour of the IW tower. Yeah, NeuroDelver's going to take it away.
It definitely doesn't belong in the middle of a forest, but like the contrast is beautiful. I mean, in real life.
Yeah, that was
life,
the idea. We were supposed to it was supposed to be more surrounded with trees, but it didn't really end up getting as enveloped as we had hoped. So it kind of seems strange that it's in a forest, but the idea was that large tree was supposed to be, kind of the seed or the mother to all these other, little saplings out here that kind of grew all over and up the building. And yeah.
Nice. So. I love a bit of lore. That's really cool.
Took the color scheme from the ME Systems colors. I think it was purple for the alien asteroid kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And also incorporating a little bit of the sky stone in there in the corners. You can't really see it all that much, but these walls here are made of sky stone. And at first it was funny. Builder was like, isn't it a little irresponsible to use something like that for building? And I'm like, well, it's only a bit. And then I think I ended up using something like 10,000 blocks or, maybe not that many, but walls, you get some back, but yeah, when they're hidden like this behind these metal supports, there's 3 wall pieces per level here. So with the height of this building and the fact that there's 2 lower towers and the middle tower, it's kind of a lot.
Just to clarify though, you didn't dig these up from asteroids, right? Like you traded for them or something. Otherwise you're digging up all the sky stuff from the server.
Yeah, you're kind of incorrect. So it was actually ethically mined, from the server. I traveled around. RTP is a blessing, I guess. And vein miner is a thing as well. Also unbreakable picks and a lot of time. So I almost depleted our supplies, and so I actually felt really bad. And I had went out with the help of Mean as well, Mean Green Machine, and we went and collected and resupplied and more than made up for it. I think we had like 17k extra from what we had depleted. So
just walk right through. Ooh, magic. And
And
yeah, I just noticed. I just turned on chunk boundaries and saw how responsible you guys are. You're like Everything's kind of contained.
Yeah, so that's all bot. You know, like bot was kind of thinking ahead and thought like, well, you know, if I condense it, it makes for less lag or maybe more localized lag, which is better. If you just look the other direction, the lag is gone, right? So I
Totally.
think
And it's a considerate thing to do for the rest of the server as well, right? So when you're loading
yeah,
this chunk in, yeah, you're limiting your kind of demand on the server.
I think it helps.
It makes up for your sins for stealing all the asteroids, I think.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah,
I
this
think one
wasn't
thing
actually that innocent though. It was back when the server still had force chunks, so I was like planting every single lag producing object in a single force chunk in the tower and just like break the resources. But
it's
that
an
was
exploit, but you know,
Yeah.
later it turned out we greenwashed it. Let's just say that. Okay.
This
It
is all
was
carbon offsets,
originally an
right?
exploit. Yes.
This poor entangled tank here is doing a lot of work. It never gets to sleep.
Oh yeah, speaking of the entangled tank, this is like this server share kind. Everybody's Steam input and output goes through this one single tank. We often have circumstances where people just poison the tank with like water or like gases, so that nobody can get Steam into their machines.
Should we do that? Should we put lava in there?
Yeah, you could do that. It's like,
You know, it's funny.
This is
You
really
probably
research
have multiple like people that try to make sure that the steam stays purified and like clean. So it will like try and clean up the container, but then also, you know, if you taint it, it could also cause their systems to break down and then taint it more. It's like it's chaos and order in the same tank all at once. It's very entangled for sure.
Where do I sign up to the Steam team? I'd like to volunteer.
Yeah, the steam team. So I was in the lower section. If we go towards the entrance, there's where the IW sign is. You just drop right down.
Could someone, for our international audience, Immigrantwerks? What's
Yeah,
How do
so
we pronounce this?
Immigrantwerks, yeah, is GmbH kind of just means like evergreen works, and so it's in German, and GmbH is just kind of their like version of LLC or like a business, basically a small incorporation. So if we go in here, got a little doorbell. You know, if you want to try out the little doorbell, go ahead.
Duff? Can you ring the doorbell? How do we do it?
Yeah, where's the
You
where's
just
the
walk over the pressure plates.
Okay,
You
okay.
can go ahead and walk in. There's a timer.
I was looking for the button for the doorbell.
First. Try it again, guys.
Nice.
And, you know, I tried to make everything walkable in case we had some, you know, differently abled people. I don't discriminate, right? You know, this is a ADA accessible building, and
But they still have to walk, so.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, well, we're not ableist. Let's just say that, okay? But yeah, you know, everything's walkable, and we have some more of these walls. I've actually, you know, fitted a lot of these levels with walls, so if we just like keep walking around to here, you can see that, you know, you can walk everywhere, and the elevators are pretty accessible as well. But yeah, the walls kind of go throughout. It gets a little harder to put walls when, you know, I build very fast. So if it's not a repetitive pattern, it gets a lot more difficult to build, obviously. So this tower is simple. Obviously, you just, you know, you use the building wand, and you have it set to 16 usually. I worked in 16s because of the chunk-based size. And if it wasn't in a 16, I kind of ran into some hiccups, so I had to change my strategies a lot. But that's basically like how I was able to do this in a reasonable time frame.
I've struggled a lot with building wand, but it does look like it's got more functionality than building gadgets, right?
So this is kind of an atrium area that I made in collaboration with Mean Green, whose space
sorry to interrupt.
we might tour later.
I'll just teleport myself. I have those powers. There we are. My bad. Hey, please continue.
Ah, no problem for interruptions.
Who's using these noisy machines, though?
It's Builder Box.
Yeah, so
Bloody tech
we
reborn.
just turn it all off. Turn it off. Just blow it up. No. I just close the door and it's all quiet now.
I
Just
mean, if
listen
you
to
want
nature.
to, you know, like, feel free.
so this is just like a kind of collaborative little build just to kind of get away from the machines and experience a little nature. You know, it's pretty common that in modern society we'll have these, you know, crazy capitalist monstrosities, but in some effort to, you know, get away from it, we put nature in it. Yeah, but, you know, I do think that this actually was, you know, pretty well enveloped, you know, of an area. I wanted to do more on the glass here with like vining and stuff, but 45-degree angles and vines, it just like doesn't really necessarily work. I could have done jungle vines maybe. Drix made all this like kind of nether themed, you know, blue thing out here, which was like a really cool like little microbiome. And this castle thing was rebuilt 3 times. So, you know, it was using like schematics, which made it easier, but, you know, it still had to be like made. And I don't think they are very good with wands, so it had to be pretty much handmade. So it's, you know, pretty like skillfully crafted. All I kind of did is add the permeable glass. I criticized them about the stands here not being symmetrical. And I added the cover for the stands. And then this like Technicolor screen here was just an idea of mine to kind of create this. Who's munching and crunching in a bowl, and what is going on over there?
Yeah, we got some
sorry
bowl
about
action
that.
going.
Hey, Yule, that's my kid. Hey, maybe don't-
I'm talking here. Don't make me get the
You're on
scary
mic.
voice out.
Kiddo. Sorry, guys. I thought that was fun.
That's all good. It's all good.
Kid's
Oh no,
gotta
we've
eat,
been
man.
we've
He's
been called
growing.
into, we've been all brought into a Gaia fight.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Can we
Oh
escape?
no, not
No, it pulls you
not
back
me.
in.
Oh no. See, okay, wait, no,
I think
no,
Trent
that's
quantum sorted it.
Yeah.
Just,
I
why is Ant or what does Ant want? Ant, I'll beat you up. Ant's big. And then over here, we have the duplication shrine, which I sort of just kind of made the microbiome around with the gravel here that has all these patterns that I had to put in by hand.
Oh, this is the white
So-
shrine.
Yeah, so this is like in here. I call it the laundromat. Well, Bot, you're gonna have to get in your coffin. Oh wait, no, isn't gonna make it night. Oops.
I think we've turned
anyway.
day-night cycle off, so yeah, nothing will happen.
Oh, you can't even get in. Anyway, yeah, I call this the laundromat, but you know, it's the duplication shrine, and we have multiple you know, replicators here for UU matter. And this was, you know, late game, but it was really good for building. I was able to, you know, do final touches and everything for no problem.
Actually, what do you think, Neural? Should we give it nighttime to show off what this looks like then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's great. I did incorporate a lot of, you know, night lights, and I think it looks best at night.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite builds. I don't know why, like it's nowhere near as big
I
as
mean-
the Purple Tower, but just the use of things like the cross at the front with the gold
Yeah.
trim on the glass and the spinning.
So
Things
the
and
the
little things,
entire
just
like
gorgeous.
port structure pretty much was BuilderBot's idea, and then the glass patterning and the detailing was mostly of my idea. I think we really did split this one down the middle very well with the detailing and everything, because some things, you know, worked and some things didn't. So, you know, we worked it out, and I think it's like really cool and complete. They wanted it to be accessible from the ceiling, so we made sure that happened. And you know, because you know we're flying around a lot, and yeah, it's cool.
What do you think, Duff? Sub, shall we? We'll take the train and then we'll go check out some other base.
Yeah. Sounds good. Definitely keen to
Poor
see
Trent
Where
looks
is
like he's got
this
the worst ping
train?
of everyone.
No, Trent. Where's this train going? What did you do? Yeah, let's get him in the back cabin. We're gonna need another cabin entirely. No, I think we can fit. We can fit
I might
6
just ride
people,
it.
so
I'll
you
play
just
along. I'll play.
stand. Yeah, stand on the roof. That's nice and safe.
My kid says, "Don't fly, Daddy. You have to be on the train."
Yeah, yeah, I have
Yeah,
to ride the train. Sit on the seat. Be,
All right, choo
be a
choo.
good and beep beep. All right, let's go.
Dope.
Strap in, build a bot.
This is
Yeah,
good.
bots on the top. That's 100% safe. Oh,
And
bye bye.
Is this max speed? Don't you have NOS in this thing?
So I think sometimes the fuel is not calculated and then it doesn't go max speed, but it's going pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I was just stirring. I was just teasing. I've never been on never been on a train in Minecraft. All right, let's go for the bang.
Oh yeah, Trent, bring in the fire.
Oh god. Oh my goodness. This is terrifying. This is not going to be good for the video compression.
Confetti bombs are the best.
All right. What do you guys reckon? Shall we move on?
Yeah, you guys have fun.
Thanks so much.
yeah.
For sure.
It's Duff and Sub. We good?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna pop out of the group
I just-
chat here.
cool. What's
I feel
happening? Oh, we're giant. Okay.
Yeah. How do we undo this?
You big?
We're all big now.
Who
you
did
know.
this to us? Who's to blame for this one?
Yeah, I've got no idea how you undo this. And after checking out IW Tower, we went and had a look at God's house. So this was Trent 87's base. Pretty sure he's the one responsible for running the official All of Fabric 6 servers. There might be other people involved as well, but he was the one responsible for getting the backups up and running for us to even be able to do this tour, so we literally could not have done it without him. He's also the guy that made the Spectrum quests in All of Fabric 6 that I'm currently playing through, which is really cool. So this base was a naturally spawning house that he converted, and had a pretty decent MI setup going, as well as a whole bunch of Spectrum stuff, whatever all the stuff is, and some space sheep. Nice. We may have blown it up after the tour. But anyway, here's what happened when we checked it out.
This is like visiting God's home.
Yeah, Trent's the server manager, admin, boss, god. Don't get on their bad side. Hey Trent, what happens if I break this block?
Oh,
I put it right back and I run away. Some nice spoilers over here for Spectrum people. Turn away, classic.
is right? Can I even see it, or is it
So,
some
Yeah,
of that
so
stuff that's hidden?
Spectrum's my favorite mod, and that's what I
totally, yeah.
mostly did.
And just to kind of, I'm getting advancements. Just to kind of set the scene. Are you a completionist? Are you now?
No.
Have you ever been a member of the completionist party? Well, there's a
Never.
new server up and running, I hear, so you can try for that. But you finished Spectrum. I'm seeing all the kind of builds here, stuff that I haven't even got to.
Yeah, I did finish Spectrum as far as it can go.
Such a great mod,
had,
hey.
Had to make all the quests.
Ah, right. So did you make all the quests for the pack?
I did the Spectrum quest specifically.
Ah, cool. Nice.
What? Don't be shy. Tell them what else you did. We're very curious, actually. I don't know how it works behind the scenes with the pack development.
Well, AK9 mostly adds mods and does all the cube.jsing, unifying all the stuff. And then I test the hell out of it and do all the server side management.
Isn't this a bit of a faux pas for a server manager to have hopper botany pots exporting into storage chests that aren't extracting? Isn't this a huge lag issue?
Oh no, he's trying to bust Trent.
That was the
Right?
That was the testing. That was when I was testing the extra data packs to add to all the extra trees.
I
you
like
go.
that
Fix
excuse. I was testing. It was science.
And usually
For
my base
shame.
wasn't loaded, so.
Oh, fair enough.
And as you can see, I did the bare minimum AE2 to store things that I never accessed.
So this is a mushroom that you built, or is this something that you found in the world?
That is a structure that spawned.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
like, oh, that looks
special
cool. I'm gonna
spoiler,
turn that
but
into a
these
base.
vines are cool. Sorry.
Yeah,
No, go
don't
ahead,
look at
repeat
Duff, it's
yourself, Trent.
spoilers.
I can't see them. Yeah.
Oh, you can't even see them.
No,
Cool.
no, I can't see them.
So,
Oh yeah, the jade vine bulb.
Yeah, those are sweet.
that's something that I just got to in my own playthrough of Spectrum, and I haven't yet planted them. I don't know how to do it. So.
Yeah, so my MI setup, it's all barrels. And then once you get to the quarries, you pretty much have infinite resources incoming. And then I have one item pipe connected to everything to, and then all the machines are slot locked and filtered.
This is most of the things.
So yeah, down here it was starting at steel machines. It's macerating every ore and processing it and then into compressors and all that. And nothing goes into storage except for mostly raw ores in the barrels up there. Otherwise, it's just ready to go into the next machine.
Mm.
That's like the full MI thing, not using AE.
Mr. Duff here himself, I think you finished MI, right?
I-
The rare people to make it all the way?
I did in All of Fabric 5. Yeah, not in All of Fabric 6.
I actually learned from watching.
I definitely would do it
This is a
differently
good time
now.
to... Well, it's a good time to spruik your... Like, Classic Duff has started, and for some reason only done 2 episodes, I think, of like a walkthrough of MI. I think the community needs that. The community needs to know how to use this complex mod.
It's taken me so long that a new version has come out, and I'm not entirely sure if everything's still the same.
Yeah, so the most complicated thing is the assemblers over here. And if you look at the item pipes and then the machine, they have all the item pipes are input output and then filtered for those things. And then the machine is slot locked to have that specific item in the specific slot it needs to be.
Nice.
And if you don't get the slot locking right, it will very quickly start filling up with the wrong item.
Yep.
Can I ask why you have a whitelist as well? I mean, so I do something similar where I slot lock,
It's
but then I
all
just have
whitelisted.
blacklist. Yeah, but it would also work just being blacklisted, right? Because you've slot
mean-
locked the recipes.
Blacklist
Right,
is
so-
only blocking. Blacklist would be to block things.
Yeah, but
I
if
think
you
he
do
means
blacklist
why-
and leave it empty. So, sorry, go ahead, Sub.
No, you were explaining your own self better.
I think you just maybe realized that I did it in the most tedious way possible.
Sorry. You're totally right though. That's like I've so many times I've filled up machines with crap because I haven't set the slots properly yet. But if you do it before you pipe it in, and then I get my little copy paste card and go around and make sure everything's input output blacklist with nothing on the filter, and I just let it sort itself out with its delivery of stuff. So yeah, in hindsight I would have saved you a couple hours maybe.
A lot of time.
Trent is making plans to redo MI right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to redo MI. Even this was so tedious.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you.
Well-
I never get more than halfway.
And I will say this was not all done in survival.
Yeah. No? I mean, I want to stay friends. I want to stay friends with Trent. Oh, here we go.
The blast bombs are really fun.
Let's see if this crashes the server.
Needs more cowbell.
Oh, oops. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. It's,
see if we can resolve this. Hold up, let's pour some lava down there.
I have a whole 9 FPS.
Free inline completion. Take all the items.
All right. Shall we get out of this area before the server crashes?
The next place, or a couple of places we checked out with this massive Void World honeycomb base, and we'll also jump into like a 3 frames per second overworld base that we checked out after that. But the tour itself, when we were looking around it, the backup was a little bit old for this dimension, so I'm chucking in some footage here showing the full setup of modern industrialization, which apparently they got through in 21 days in real life, which is pretty impressive and a very cool looking pile of machines. And the big wall of coke ovens might have been unnecessary, but it definitely looks cool. Pretty sure this place, and I think the overworld one as well, was built by Inno. I think in game he was XIQW, and Ant as well. But this is like a really cool theme for a base. Very large, had to fly around, actually using the Bobby mod, which lets you essentially see further than like a server's render distance. I don't entirely know how it works, but it was very handy for flying around this place.
I'm gonna do a quick fly around so that everything can render in, because this is
True.
a big base.
Oh, you got Bobby going?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah. This is a. If ever there was a Bobby demanding base, this is it.
Definitely. I guess we could just start at what isn't here. The MI, this is what I have at the beginning. I'm not sure where everyone is. But this was when I first started it. Hadn't had much going on. Took about 21 days for me to go from practically nothing to finished. Granted, we had finished everything else in the pack, and so I had Tech Reborn and whatnot to my advantage to help me out.
Here we are. That was in the wrong area. Yeah.
Yes. I was running my ore through Annihilation Planes with currently outdated Annihilation Planes. It was doing Fortune 127.
Oh God.
Yeah, so by the end I had, I'm not sure. I think I had a couple 100 million of like copper and coal and whatnot. Raw.
All
copper,
necessary.
that is.
All necessary.
Always. Always. I was, of course, getting my drills and whatnot from villagers, although it's not here anymore, but even though I got analog circuits and motors from villagers, I had also set up a assembler for them as well for that sense of completion, make sure I actually could automate them. And then this wall of coke ovens was from before I realized that I didn't actually need them, because I forgot that I already had industrial centrifuges to make carbon, so I didn't actually need all the coke dust.
I recall seeing this in. Yeah, I saw this posted in the Discord server, and I was just like, "Hey, these guys, they know what they're doing. I'm gonna need that many coke ovens." Like, I thought I had underprepared, but no, I think I've got 3 that are running at the moment, and it's doing me well. But
oh yeah, no, it's not needed. I mean, it's a stack of coke ovens, 64, I believe. 4
It's a
rows of
flex.
16.
It does look cool.
And literally all I was using was the creosote, and in very, very small quantities for lubricant. But that was pretty much it.
There are just stuff here that I do not understand.
Yeah, so up here we had this for the Botany Enchanters. More mana pushing in, faster it went. So
It's
it went
just
all out
a
on
mana
this.
battery.
Yeah. And then over here was just a little mana storage.
Guys, you've got 800 million. Well,
Yes.
like units of mana in there, which is actually more than that, right? Like it's more than that in terms of no, because you need 2 billion for the upgraded SS Shatterer, right?
Yeah. I think.
Can I have your mana?
We used to have a better one, but it again was laggy. It was more FPS client lag, I believe. We were running I forget the name. The TNT flowers. The Entropinium.
Entropiniums?
We had 128 of them, and each had its own piece of TNT. So 128 TNT every. I think we got it down to 2 seconds, or was it a second? So it was very
Wow.
client-side laggy. And then Ant rebuilt it over here, smaller and much less laggy.
Yeah, we've
But
lost
slower
sub,
rate.
I think. But yeah.
I'm back.
So,
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And how are you producing the TNT here? Is it duping or is it you're crafting it somewhere?
We're crafting it. You will see when we go over to the overworld base where I have most of the create. I had an gunpowder farm over there that produced insane amounts. So we can show that later.
Yeah, this is fast. I'm
How did
mostly
you get
asking
to-
because I'm doing something similar, but definitely not this scale.
How did you get the flowers to take TNT so fast? Maybe you said that. I missed it.
I think there's
Oh,
just
we,
so
we
many.
have. If you go down, you're importing the mana with MI, with apply. Sorry, and this enchanter is actually automatic.
Right, but it
it's
hasn't
an
been
old
hasn't
design.
been updated yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah. So this is
I-
the old one. I mean, and you can explain the rest of what we have. All you.
don't think I will.
Teach me, Ed.
I don't
I
really
feel like this
remember.
is.
You put an item here and the other item here, and it also takes stuff from those two barrels. Using Botania, those red string things, I use it on this design, but I updated to rectangular blocks later. But red string containers can actually insert blocks or take blocks out of those enchanter things, the bows and etc. So basically just redstone and red stringed containers. So I time everything and I can check if I got a boot using crate filters, or if I got an item down here and I know if I need to take like from this one or this one. It's basically it.
You said that's basically it, but this must be the like. I'm not sure if I've ever seen anyone automate this before. So this is like a
No
Yeah,
one
I
has.
never saw
a
a
world
video.
first.
Spectre is really new mod now. Well, there's not really much videos about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, Ant, congratulations! You take the title of the first person to automate overchanting with Spectrum.
Yeah.
Aside from the Void World Honeycomb base, they also started off in the Overworld with a whole bunch of create stuff happening in here. This place was pretty cool. There was this big pile of looter chests that people joining the server could raid, which was really neat. They had this massive dye crafting setup. I'm not entirely sure what you need that much dye for, but it looked awesome. And yeah, this FPS killing food setup. They completed the Hell's Kitchen quest line in all of Fabric 6, which it explains why they probably needed this massive setup. But this place was cool. I think this was also built by Inno and XIQW, or yeah, not entirely sure. There might have been other people involved. I didn't write enough stuff down, but yeah, here's what happened when we checked out this overworld base.
Wait, I remember when Ant was like brand new here, and this was just a little camp. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then
Wow,
I joined
flashbacks.
and
Yeah,
I
we've
made
made
shit go everywhere.
chests.
Now we have a lot of chests here that we let people come and raid if they want.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yes. So behind you, you'll see my old Certus quartz and nether quartz budding farms. I think I've lost everyone.
No, I can hear you. I'm lost in the base. Maybe that's what you meant. Yeah.
You got some blue in your face there.
My frames are non-existent right now.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh.
the frame killing base. This is the
Yeah.
GPU
Do you have
muncher.
shaders on? Shaders might not be a good idea here. Apologies.
No, good advice. I just turned them off.
Oh, You still have the big wall closed.
I
He-
do.
He has
I
not
can show
unleashed
that
the
later,
full
but
power.
It will. Yeah.
The full
But,
power of frame rate munching.
Yeah, I don't even see you, Kimbles.
Oh, I went.
He's spectator.
Went spectator.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're in spectator. Right. Okay. Never mind. So this was a dye farm, that I had set up, using the Botania flowers, and then into this, which sorted them out, and for each color. And I actually made them fill entangled chests, and they were supposed to become public at spawn, so we would take free dye, and then everything
Oh,
overflow
nice.
would go into our own private tank. And I'll probably do something like this in the new world, but not using this old setup of growing and crafting because it was laggy. Over here was our food room. Over in this corner.
Yeah, here's our
Yep.
kitchen, where we made Hell's Kitchen. There's
Yes.
actually a corporeal network here. If you come here inside the kitchen and request any vegetal or something,
And then if you do not, if no one has shaders on, I can show you that.
Cool.
I mean, I see a button. I'm gonna press it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's this is all the botany pots, 10 for each crop in the
Dude,
mod
this is
pack.
My
better than it used to be.
God.
So
I'm not doing too
that's
bad.
That's why I do it.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
really
it
is better
kills your
than-
FPS with shaders on. If you turn that on, you're just gonna start to lag.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Now
yes,
I gotta try
so
it.
Yeah,
this
yeah, I had to
does all
try.
that.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
So that's why I put a giant door to prevent it.
Oh yeah, there they go.
But yeah, no,
So this is everything,
nice.
huh? This is all
Just
the
about
crops in the game, is it?
every single crop.
Yeah.
Yep. Kimbles, if you drop down and you look inside of the look
if you
behind
check
you,
here,
in this little room, it's the
that's
furnace.
our hex casting furnace.
Right
When I
there.
go inside
Just
here-
it instantly smelted.
Yeah,
I don't know how many stacks that
instantly
was.
smells everything.
Are you
Was
serious?
that, I think, 18, 20 or something.
Wait,
I
where
didn't
is
quite
the
catch
furnace?
that. Is it possible to do it again?
Yeah. You want to drop a?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm a bit lost.
Oh, I guess that'll work. Yeah.
Yep.
Just watch.
Like, it's just a simple circle to smell stuff. Hex casting, it's really useful. I use it right from the beginning of the game.
Whoa.
To it, anything.
Yeah.
And how much meat did that just cost?
I'm not sure to be honest, but it's like
Okay.
1 meter
But is it-
per item, I guess, or something.
The next place we checked out was this big honey blob filled with a bunch of tech stuff. This was built by Zeph and Sync. I'm not entirely sure of Sync's username. It was Zeph or Zephless showing us around the base when we were checking it out. So yeah, it was kind of this combination of this giant honey blob that was packed full of tech stuff, which was really cool, as well as this really neat nautical aquatic themed fortress thing with hanging corpses. This place was pretty neat as well. A bit of lore as well. I'll chuck in the during the recording I kind of checked out the lore book, so I kind of skip through all the pages so you can read it if you want to. This place was really neat.
Okay, so if we start up here near the hunting building, so right here, this is my little spectrum ruins. Yeah, so it's nothing too crazy. It just holds the spectrum, the what do you call it, pigment pedestal, because those take up a lot of space, and then your fusion shrines. You can stack them on top of each other. Yeah. I like to hide them because, no offense to Spectrum, but the same build over and over again is a little ugly. So if we go inside, so
show us
here's
what
my
you
little row of demons. This is like endgame bewitchment. I believe it's the add-on mod besmirchment. You can tame demons, and they basically work like any other pet, except they're way cooler.
And so I can talk to them.
names.
And get
You
a
can talk to
contract.
them. Yes.
And what do they
Contracts
do?
they in the book you can see the bewitchment book, you can see what they do, but contracts are pretty strong. They last like a couple days in game, and they give you certain perks. So some of them are really strong, like you can get like a buff to your fortune, so things like that. So if we come in, you're gonna notice that I have like a lot of mobs like that. I really like to. I think they add like a lot of atmosphere. This is our ME system and all the MI. So it's kind of a puzzle. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I got this. We got 83 spider eyes. And
Oh yeah, no,
Very
that's
necessary.
me misclicking. I misclick on these all the time, and I feel so bad. So I had to put a sign up that I did not know how to fix it. It was really embarrassing. So this is kind of the problem with basing with like a tech god when you're just a builder, is you do not know what's going on at any point. So it's amazing here. It's a lot of fun to kind of just figure out what things are though. So if you recognize anything, feel free to check it out. I could not guide you through. So right here, these are my guards guarding my tower. So this is again another Spectrum thing. These are actually ethereal platforms holding them in place. So it's one of the only truly invisible blocks.
oh, sadly, shaders kind of ruined the entrance gate here.
Yeah, if you
glass.
turn shaders off, you'll see like the invisibleness.
So, sorry, what's the purpose of the elf glass?
It's because I had fish in here. They kind of all despawned with the world file, but there were fish in here, and it was to keep them from leaving. I had to hold them hostage.
Fair enough. Yeah, some of these decorative blocks are amazing. You've got the mine cells flag waving.
Yes, these were not
realize I did that.
originally available for pickup, and then I had to cardboard box some of them, but they fixed that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, if there's like ever a decorative block that's like not actually able to be moved, we try our absolute hardest to get it. Yeah, so basically this whole place was supposed to be like filled to the brim. So when I make a base like this, it's not really meant for like living in. So that's why I have the starter area. I don't know if you know like what Omega Mart is, where it's kind of like
No.
it's kind of like it's in Las Vegas. It's like an art gallery, but it's interactive. So you actually like you go through. It has lore, and you really just like explore and find little hidden details while you explore the lore of it. And so that's kind of the theory I use when I build a base, is that I want it to be open to the public and just absolutely full of detail for people to explore and figure out the lore of it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like Meow Wolf.
Yeah, that's what Omega Mart is. That's their
Okay,
area 15.
nice.
Yeah, that's their area 15 gallery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's supposed to have like a story, and then you would gradually figure out the story as you go through.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's also got a ride
Yeah.
over here for anyone who hasn't spotted it.
Yeah, it does have a ride over here. That's a create contraption. Create is really good for decorative stuff. There's actually a resident down there too, in the little tower. Yeah, so there's all this like gross green slime stuff coming out. So that's where all the plague comes from. And then the lore book is right here. On this little boat with the little researcher who died.
So, sorry, I missed the bit. So under the tree here where the lesson is, this is the source of the virus, is it?
No,
Some
no,
slime
no. If you
algae.
come here, this little area.
Oh, there it is,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so you see all this like green. So there's I believe 3. I think there's a smaller 4th little cave inside this area. The entire base. And they're basically just full of like green glass to make it look like they're all slimy.
Right, it spread. It got in somehow.
Yeah, so in the lore it's like basically in the lore book, if you read it, they're basically like all these like people complaining that there's like a sewage leak, and they're like, oh, but there's like no sewage pipe going here, so like what's causing that? And so they kind of get like overrun before they realize what's happening.
After this, we checked out Mean Machine's base. This place was really, really detailed. They obviously spent a whole lot of time just detailing things. Yeah, it's incredible. You'll see it during the tour. So many neat things around it, and secret hidden technology that the wizards they can't ever find out about it. But this was a really cool place to check out as well.
I'm in your area. I'm in your area.
All right.
Sorry
Welcome
if you're
to
not a
my
dance grouper.
humble abode, my own biome. Yeah, so my strict rules is like originally it had a bunch of like red and silver maple trees, but I said no red trees, so I took all those out and I replaced it with all the trees that made me happy. And all the plants that made me happy. I'm not really like a tech builder. I'm very much like a collect and like terraform and, you know, landscape kind of person. Like you'll be able to come here and like realistically like sit on the bench and like look at the pond and stuff. Everything's very realistically sized, nothing super large scale. And
I feel
also,
like I want to come here. I want to sit
ahead.
down and like in real life just get a book out, and I can have this on my monitor, and I'm just like reading a book on the side. This is so peaceful.
Exactly. Yeah, like this is where like Minecraft is very relaxing for me, but also I wanted to say none of this would be possible without the kindness and generosity of my team because like I do a lot of resource like collecting, but I'm not very like technologically literate with those kinds of mods. So they helped me a lot. And also people beyond my team too. Like a lot of people just like helped me with items or were just really kind to me. Like gave me an angel ring and different things like that. So, you know. But yeah.
Shout out to their generosity.
Yeah, shout out to everyone for being so freaking nice to me. But so this house here was actually one of the generated houses for, I don't remember which mod, like they're really dilapidated. And at the time, like I didn't have a lot of resources, so I replaced every single block to colors that I liked. So the whole house.
Kidding me? I
No,
just now realized that.
Every single
Holy
block has been
cow.
replaced to the blocks that I liked, and I have a color palette mostly of like silver, turquoise, and black, with like a little bit of leniency, and then a lot of nature. So, because I only like certain color palettes. And then up
Do you want me to
there,
finish the build for you? Do you want me to finish the roof for you? Do you see there's 2 stairs missing? Or that's part of the
that's
design,
part
is
of the, yeah, so this up here, Zeph, I think, mentioned the spectrum, like, particle generators. I have these really weird, like, eyeball bubbles coming out of my chimney. Because, like, my character's lore for this base is that they're, like, a wizard, basically, that kind of lives in, like, a cave and practices magic. Like, I'm one of those hermits that kind of just, like, claimed my own little corner of the world over here. So, you know, no technology.
I would argue it's not like the usual, you know, somebody that goes to the corner of the world, like, you know, why, you know, -50 and like,
No, I'm actually
you know,
still really close to my
10,000,
team.
10,000. Yeah.
And you
I
can
mean,
take the train to my house. Like, it's very still, like, approachable. So this was actually a giant empty crater hole from a meteor that had spawned. And I went in and completely redid the blocks for the meteor. And I kind of added some bits, and then I landscaped, and I decided this is where I was going to grow my crops. I grew all of these trees that I like. I found the saplings from many different mods. Again, like my color theme. And I really like collecting the different graveyard, like, skeleton items. I don't know why. I like the dark, spooky themes. But, you know, feel free to explore different areas. There's not anything in particular to say about it. Again, it's very, like, explore the area, like, look at the fine detail, relax. So we're in what I call my spectrum clearing, which I also mostly dug out myself. This is full of glow vines. There's not a whole lot beyond that. That was here, but ahead of us, I had dug out myself, and I'd put all of the moss, all of the glow vines. It was just stone. And we're on, like, floating platforms above my water here that I have built, which is going to be a theme throughout my base, where we're, like, on floating platforms in water on a cave with, like, chains attached to the ceiling and stuff like that. Lots of lily pads and nature. Like, I try to make it as natural as possible. Like, you've got roots coming down. I use different textured mosses from chipped to kind of, you know, evolve it a little bit. And sticking with spectrum themed color palettes out here, so I only used, you know, purple, yellow, and blue for the flowers and the aesthetics of the decorations. This is like the only mod that I really kind of dabbled in, and I didn't even finish Spectrum, so I have like one platform here, and then if you go around, you can access the other 2 through lily pads, because I decided to like suspend them in water. because I just thought it would be cool. They needed exposed sky, and Spectrum, you know, focuses on a lot of nature stuff, so I thought it would be neat to make them really magical, make them float on the water and stuff like that. But I just accidentally made the third one, I believe, no, the second one explode right before we had the reset, so I had to fix the water and the lily pads in a panic.
Yeah,
It was really messy.
I had to watch them panic as the darkness consumed everything underneath the platform and every connecting water
yeah.
source block. It was so
okay, yep.
unfortunate.
It was
So
really
for
disgusting.
any viewers watching this, just watch out for darkness and water. That's all I gotta say.
Right. I mean, I'm
No
kind of
spoilers.
glad that I built it in water because of that, because it was like, it wasn't like super easy to fix, but it was like, oh, it's in water. Like, it didn't destroy a ton of blocks, so I could fix it.
Don't put it in water. That's what you want.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna come up here into my moldy kitchen, which kind of happened by accident. I had planted a couple mushrooms in my, cooking for blockhead setup over here, and then they grew. And honestly, I don't really use my kitchen that much because I have a cooler which automatically feeds me, so it's kind of appropriate that it's a little bit moldy, to be honest. I haven't been in here in a while. Alright, now we'll go through the decoy house. Alright, I have this room which I put a bunch of skeletons in. Again, this is the decoy house. You walk into an unsuspected horror of skeletons, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Why are there all these skeletons in this room? Oh, wow.
They probably deserved it.
You can also go upstairs and experience something similar, but be careful for the spider webs that are everywhere. There's a bunch of skeletons up there. Because I did actually use this as my starter house at first, so I slept here and I stored my stuff in the side room. But then I dug out the cave that we're going to explore underneath, because that was all solid rock as well. And this is, like, the most main part of my base, I would say, that we're getting into. This is a cave
Whoa.
that I dug, and by accident I came across a geode, and then this is, like, chests with some fun items that I've collected, so, like, player heads, and, like, banners, and trinkets, artifacts, armor, and then I stacked a bunch of books around. You know, half aesthetic, half functional. And then I have a special blue coffin over to the right that has some of my graveyard items. And same deal as before. I like hand decorated it all. The water underneath is decorated, and all of the sand also has a design code where it's all black and blue sand because it matches the colors. And I'm crazy. I only like the colors
looks
to
great.
match.
I love this flooring. It's really nice.
Thank you. I just
Oops,
had
sorry.
this random idea to have these like floating platforms, and I just like went with it because I saw these big chains and I was like, oh, I have to do something with that. Those are so cool.
Yeah, the chains in Mind Cell's Dimension.
I
Gorgeous,
love
eh?
everything about Mind Cells. I was like, this is the coolest mod ever. I'm just gonna steal all of it. So
Yeah, it's ironic that it's a dimension mod for killing and a boss and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, but yet it adds some really nice decorative blocks that should have been in the
So
game
many.
ages ago.
I agree. I don't know, the like detail that they put into stuff, and like the little like wilted hanging leaves and stuff like that, and the wilted leaves themselves, like they're all just really cool. I don't know. And like the wilted
Totally.
leaves you can put on any side of the block, and they like have different variations, so they're great for like subtle decoration and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
while we're right here, pardon my intrusion, but the area that is
Oh, yeah.
hidden with
If
the
you
tech
walk
is
on
back
these
here.
lily pads over here, this is like a super small detail. This is where my ME system is hidden. So they actually have stone doors that camouflage really nicely. And you can walk in here and you can find my hidden tech, but you have to swear not to tell the Wizard Society because they will absolutely kick me out if they figure out I have a computer in my home. Wizards
freaking
are
hate
not
those
cool with
guys.
this. I know. Why is the Wizard Society like that?
It's like
It's just
the
like
HOA.
Magic
Whoa.
Users Association, MUA. But yeah, so this is where my system is, and that it's really tiny. Neural Delver made me that since I have so many items. But yeah, just a little subtle thing because I didn't want it to be super obvious, so just made a cute little stone door.
Well, I mean, I can say I just had a bit of a look in your terminal.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many items. Like, this is one of the maybe the most detailed build base that we've seen so far. But compared to the numbers of items and blocks that people have in their ME systems, this is nothing. You got a lot of work to
Yeah.
do.
No,
Only
for sure.
2,000 stone? Get out of here.
Well, I will confess, I have 3 DACs on me, and then I also have a backpack, and I also have access to my team's ME system as well. So it's a very, like, you know, collective thing. I have a whole bunch of storage in my
True.
inventory right now that I have to flip through, you know.
True, I was just teasing. Also, careful, I
No,
think the Grim
that's
Reaper
true.
just spawned.
Oh, perfect. Ooh, I got one of those too. Here, let's grim it up. Let's go.
This is awkward.
Ah.
Zephyrus and Trent, I think you guys need to coordinate your contracts better for souls. You turn up to the same job at the same time.
After this, we went and checked out a nether base, and apologies, I couldn't figure out who built this. I mean, I could have asked someone probably, but I don't know the name off the top of my head. So yeah, I know Mean Machine and Neural helped work on some of this really cool nether base where they kind of made a converted ocean monument, but nether styled. And I think apparently somehow Spectrum can remove bedrock, which looks pretty cool. I don't know. When I first saw the screenshot, I kind of thought this looked like a spaceship, like blasting through some bedrock. I don't know. That was the first impression I got, but this place was really cool as well. And we've actually got a little bit of footage where maybe they say who was actually building it.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah,
in the nether,
so...
it's got that nice kind of like eerie sound playing in the background.
Right. You know, we didn't have anything to do with that, but we did work on started to work on the interior of this, like, Victorian build that Leon started. I mostly did a lot of it, like, Neural and I started together, and then I had some extra time, and I went in and, kind of streamlined everything and added fine details and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, I was just there for kind of some criticism and like I helped fine tune it a little bit. That's it.
Another
I
relaxing
did
space.
Yeah, I saw the images of this in the Discord. I love this.
It's like, I took inspiration from, like, I don't remember if it's like 60s or 70s, like, pleasure pits, where it's like an inset couch into the ground. So I have this inset couch around this, like, really cozy fireplace where you would, like, hang out with your friends and chat and whatever. And then there's lots of books, because I feel like in Victorian houses, you know, they liked books. They wanted to read a lot.
They didn't have Minecraft, so...
Yeah, you know, they didn't have anything else to do, so they read a lot. And the only thing that they told us is that they wanted to have the kitchen set up in here somewhere, you know, for functionality, and the rest of it was all up to us. Neural came up with the color palette with the, you know, kind of pinkish color and the red, black, and white, and then I kind of just applied whatever decorations I felt just fit the kind of vibe I was going for. Kind of like a classy / fantasy, but also realistic kind of aesthetic, you know, the books and things like that, and then the different trophies that Leon had earned and things like that are scattered around the place to make it a bit more personal for them.
Another monument is here, though.
Yes, you know, I can't speak for anything on that. I have seen it all before. They do some amazing work. That build over there is incredibly intricate. Like,
yeah, my
oh
understanding
goodness.
is this is largely a schematic of an ocean monument, right? And then they
Yes.
changed the block palette and stuff in creative. Like
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
This is another great example of like with. Of course, it takes time and effort to build something so big and crazy like this, but there's modded tools that can help you do it. Like no way could
Yeah.
anyone do this in survival, or should they?
And you know, they did it in pretty short order too, which was one of the more
Yeah.
surprising things. Like they were just like, "Oh yeah, I'm done with the monument now." And we were like, "Wait, what?" And I came over and I was like, "Oh, like the whole thing." Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't realize it was the
It's a great
whole
design.
thing.
Do you know how the roof got knocked out? That's
I don't.
Probably ruin.
Spectrum, right?
Yeah, that
Probably.
should be Spectrum ruin.
They're pretty freaking crafty with how they do stuff down here, so I like it though, because I told them it kind of looked like some really, like, a circle of, like, evil clouds that was encroaching on the monument. Which wasn't on purpose, but I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of all of the tour footage I decided to include in the video. We did look around a couple of other places, which we'll have a look at, but kind of like the people that had built it or worked on it weren't available to be part of the video. So we did check it out. You might be able to see some stuff in Gimble's video. I'm not entirely sure what he's keeping in, what he's taking out. But the first thing was this really cool looking train station, which it wasn't quite finished, and also had this futuristic factory tacked onto it. So this was built by Shoki. I think pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. There was also this futuristic factory. Yeah, looks like a pretty complete MI setup in this thing. Very nice, very nice. There was also this really cool overworld nether conversion, like biome conversion. So this was created by Eli or Rats and Tats. Yeah. Also had this really cool blackstone structure, and I really like the detailing on it with the gold pillars. It just looked like a very, very tidy build, but obviously the biome transformation is just fantastic. Must have taken a very long time. We were pretty tired by the time we were checking out this part of the server. We probably missed some interior details, like this prison for crows and a rabbit. Yeah. Now this place was cool. I especially liked that kind of mesa nether thing. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. We also checked out this absolutely massive castle island, another thing built by Rohan, and apparently this was given away to another player on the server. Yeah, absolutely crazy that you spend that much time building it and just give it to somebody else. Hopefully they've kept their own backups of this, because this place was fantastic. Although I've got no idea where I'd even start if I got given this starting off on a server. There must have been so many hours put into this thing. You've also got like the custom island itself, which would have taken ages, and all the structures. And this thing is just, amazing. This thing was really impressive. It was really, really cool. Rohan also created this other place. So the second dragon that we checked out on the server, this ice dragon and keep town thing. Now this was also intended to be given away to another player, but it never quite got finished before they got round to the server reset. The dragon might be the most eye-catching part of this build, but the keep thing itself is very cool, and I'm pretty sure this entire island was also custom made, so this would have taken a very, very long time. And then last but not least was Rohan's Death Star in the Ad Astra space station above the overworld dimension. Now, this didn't quite get finished, or maybe it's deceivingly still under construction. I've always loved the idea of building a big space station base. This thing was shaping up to be something that was really, really cool. But who knows? Maybe they'll rebuild it on the new server. They certainly build a lot of really, really cool stuff. But yeah, that concludes the absolutely massive NA server tour. Again, apologies if I've missed something, or I got somebody's name wrong, or excluded someone from one of the mini builds that we checked out, or if we just completely missed something else that was very, very impressive. Honestly, I kind of want to transfer all my stuff to the server so I can, check out other people's builds, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I want to deal with the latency. But yeah, there was also a bit of a tour done on the EU server, so Kimbles and Subordinate Blue jumped on, I think, with a couple of other people to check out a few builds on there. If this video is ready by the time I'm done editing this and have it uploaded, I'll chuck a link in the description, obviously, and that'd be really cool. And don't forget to check out Kimbles' All the Fabric series, where I'm pretty sure he's a bit further ahead than I am. But yeah, I couldn't make it to the EU server tour. Time zones can be a bit of a pain, but it looks like there were some pretty cool bases over there. But yeah, thanks again to everyone who made this happen, and I'm going to try my best to never have to edit this much footage ever again. It's been Classic Duff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.